infrastructure deficit is seen as an impediment to faster economic growth. It's believed to be standing in the way of regional integration, investor confidence and job creation. The constrained electricity supply is impacting negatively on businesses, exacerbating the already difficult challenges it faces. Business says the expanded participation of the private sector and fast-tracking the introduction of renewable energy sources could be the answer. The South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry says there should be more public-private partnerships.
Unfortunately, what we don't see coming through, although it might be there, is sufficient private sector interaction with government and liaison between government and the private sector in order to put the infrastructure projects into the mix, and where the private sector can actually provide funding as well as get something back in terms of the tariffs that are charged for the infrastructure.
Apart from the electricity supply shortage, civil society is also concerned about the healthcare system.
We need to align our hospitals to the national health insurance. The rural areas are experiencing a serious challenge in terms of the facilities, and we feel that the mobile clinics will also help in terms of the cost for transport, for them to be able to access those kind of facilities. And that's why the health issues becomes very critical for us. But also we need to focus on refurbishing the existing hospitals.
Experts are calling for a speedy implementation of infrastructure projects to boost the economy and create jobs.
A lot of companies in the construction industry have been waiting for this to happen, but at this stage it hasn't happened. But I think there's infrastructures needed. I think there's new universities needed, new colleges. I think there's improvements to schools, roads, right across the broad spectrum. There's a lot needed in terms of infrastructural development. Water, electricity, of course, is a big issue, going forward. So I think it's a big challenge as to where to prioritise, where to get the money from, and where it's actually going to start.
Economists say South Africa should be cautious with regards to borrowing to finance the planned infrastructure build program.
If you continue to borrow, it comes a point where it negatively impacts your ability to grow, because you'll have to finance it, you'll have to pay down that debt, and also it's not good for credit ratings and how the world sees South Africa. So I'm very concerned about the trajectory we're finding on our debt. Now sitting at 45% of GDP on a gross basis. It's forecast by the IMF to go to 50 to 60, which is the fastest we've seen amongst the emerging market countries. That is very concerning.
Motata says government should be concerned about the rate at which debt is growing, deal with the huge public sector wage bill and cut wasteful expenditure. Gloria Sefako Musi, SABC News.